Hello and welcome. My name is Marc Blatstein, the physician founder of Physician Pre-Sentence Report Service. Otherwise, online, you can type in PPRSUS.com. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me today. Today, I'm going to discuss Sam Bankman-Fried. It is March 28th, and this is the day he was sentenced to 25 years in prison. With 25-year sentence in prison, there are going to be a lot of people who feel he should have spent more time there, and there are going to be very few that he should spend less. But what I'm going to do is go through the judge's impression of the defendant at sentencing, because this is important that it's all up to you to make this a good first impression with your court, with your judge. And this was nothing that he did. Sam Bankman-Fried, sentenced to 25 years, cryptocurrency prosecutor described it as one of the biggest financial frauds in history. That is probably true. But I'm going to go through the impression that he left with the court. U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan had a blistering analysis of Bankman-Fried's crimes. Not a great way to start. He understands that there's no doubt around the world that Bankman-Fried's name has no value, or as he said, it's pretty much mud globally. So now we're going to get into what I believe is important, and that is that Judge Kaplan already said that he understands Bankman-Fried's reputation is ruined. Now we're going to get into the two things, or two of the several things that a judge wants to hear from you, the defendant, that they don't want to hear from the attorney. Judges understand that the Department of Justice wants a conviction, that the prosecutor wants jail time. And because you're the reason that you're responsible for all the world's sins. And that's the picture he or she is trying to portray to the court. They understand that your attorney is to get leniency for you. The person that the judge does not know, in most cases, is you, the defendant. Now, if you've gone to trial, it's true that the judge may know you, but if you didn't take a stand, if you really didn't have time to have a heart-to-heart conversation with the judge, that opportunity is still in front of you. Regarding Bankman-Fried, that opportunity was squandered at the very beginning. So initially, you have to go ahead and accept responsibility, understand that there are victims, and you have remorse for the victims you've created. I had a felony in 2006. I went ahead. I never asked my attorney how many trials he won and how many appeals he won or lost. But we appealed my indictment. I got out of prison and I went back for the appeal, and the judge said denied and sent me back to prison. So that seems to me to be very important questions between you and your attorney, is that if you're considering an appeal or you're considering trial, you want to know how many they won or what percentage. Then it's the feeling that the defendant or Bankman-Fried left with the judge. And according to this, he committed perjury. He repeatedly committed perjury and told lies from the witness stand. They're not even mentioning here the fact that he had witnessed tampering. He left the judge, he left the court the judge with the opinion that there's a risk that this man will be in a position to do something very bad in the future. And it's not a trivial risk at all. I mean, Bankman-Fried is a very smart guy. So we have here that there's no acceptance of responsibility. There's no remorse for victims. And at the very outset, the judge feels that Sam Bankman-Fried, it's not trivial. He can be a very bad person in the future. He's advising the Federal Bureau of Prisons right up from the get-go. He should be in a medium security prison near San Francisco, not in a high security, because of his notoriety, his amount of wealth. He's autistic, socially awkward, and that could make him vulnerable. It would in a high security prison. And so now we're going to get down to the big enchilada, if you will. The judge says that after Bankman-Fried spoke for 20 minutes and expressed his regret about the mistakes he's made, he then just doesn't finish the sentence, but continues, but he goes on to blame others. You can't accept responsibility and blame others at the same time. Regarding the second of two things that every one of us needs to make clear to the probation officer who is conducting your pre-sentence interview and to the judge in an allocution and through your narrative, is that you understand that you have remorse for victims you've harmed. And the judge later criticized everything by saying he expressed, quote, never a word of remorse for the commission of terrible crimes. Then you have the defense attorney getting in, Marc, and saying everything that, Sam Bankman is not a ruthless financial serial killer. He's not out to hurt people. This is what the judge knows the attorney is going to say. The judges know that the attorney's job is to get you the most amount of least leniency and the least amount of time in prison. That did not happen here. You have Sam Bankman-Fried's and attorneys and friends urge leniency. Again, it's coming from everyone but the one person that the judge doesn't know, and that is you, the defendant. And the only impression he had during trial was interaction that wasn't good between the court and Bankman-Fried. And so if we layer on top of that, that John Ray, that he's the current CEO of FTX, says that Franklin B lives in a life of delusion. At some point, I'm not a lawyer, and it may not have happened, but I believe that counsel sometimes has to try, be it with a psychologist, a sociologist, a psychiatrist, to help Bankman-Fried understand that he needs to accept responsibility. It was his company. He needs to accept remorse for victims. If he can't speak it, he can put it in writing. And if he can't write it, maybe it can be in video. But otherwise, you're leaving the judge just to hear and learn about you through your indictment and the pre-sentence report. Because the sentencing memorandum, while your attorney is speaking very glowingly about you, the defendant, the judge already knows that that's what they're going to do. They're paid to say good things about you and to try and mitigate your sentence. I hope you found this helpful. I'm grateful for you taking time to listen to this YouTube video, and I hope you have a great day. And please learn that if you're facing your pre-sentence interview, your narrative, release plan, and then allocution, which is your conversation with the judge, are critical to your future. Have a good day.